Hello, and thank you for joining today and taking the time out of your busy day to allow me to present a little bit of information on Education Documents Universal, otherwise known as E.D.U. My name is Harvey, and I am the president and founder of E.D.U. It's my pleasure to share some info with you today. A little background on me: I do have 12 years of experience in higher education with 3 institutions served, a large state public flagship institution, a mid-size U.S. News top World Report Top 100 institution, as well as a small liberal arts institution. Leadership in the field in terms of my involvement with a number of professional organizations, leading recruitment tours, involvement with conferences, sessions, planning, a few language skills, as you'll see here from my list. I do think that my reputation and my networking in the field is valuable for the organization that we're planning to launch. This is going to be heavily relying on relationship building and existing networks and partnerships that exist. To identify the initial problem, essentially, we focus on international students here, and more so than domestic counterparts, international students struggle with completing their applications through university studies. There's a number of barriers: access to documents, the costs associated at the time, specifically those that we consider non-traditional students, older ones who are not currently in school, the refugee students, those that are displaced. Obviously, the costs associated with having all the things necessary to complete an application. University admissions offices are also under a lot of pressure to produce more international student enrollment at their universities, yet the staffing and the resources don't quite match those demands just yet. And we also see that there's a much lower completion rate of international student applications versus those of the domestic counterparts. This is where E.D.U comes into play. I feel very confident that this is a solution that meets students' needs and helps them fulfill their desires and their goals of gaining university admission. And we can also help the universities better serve those students and their applicants, and also meet those enrollment goals that have been set. For students, we offer a cloud-based solution that allows them themselves, the student, to upload copies of documents and credentials that they have. It's submitted via a web platform. Institutions that participate can receive. They do get assistance with verifying the authenticity of credentials, which is typically one of the main concerns that universities have in this process. And in the long run, could save students money in terms of the costs associated with getting their applications together for universities. For institutions, again, it's an easy way to receive electronically, very fast, the documents that are necessary. They can feel confident that they're receiving authentic and verified credentials. They're going to save tons of time and manpower in terms of the follow-up that's necessary, and help them meet the enrollment goals, which ultimately their bosses are looking very heavily at. In a second phase, we're going to roll out a revenue-generating model that allows additional opportunities and services for universities as well. Here's a quick mock-up of the landing page of E.D.U's website. Place an emphasis on the mobile-friendly edition, since most students are accessing via mobile device. A very clean, easy to navigate, front-facing system. Quick login, because mostly students and other users will be using an actual portal. And this is a mock-up here that you see of the student portal, their documents, where we assume most students are going to spend their time within the portal. Market analysis shows that international student enrollment through the years has grown and has especially skyrocketed since about 2007 and 8. There's over 1 million international students studying in the U.S. This is a pretty significant number. Based on some estimations, I'm looking each year at a 600,000 prospective student pool. That is our total addressable market. Essentially, we can service the total market given that we're a cloud-based storage solution, essentially. And the beachhead is going to be that non-traditional student. And I'm a conservative estimate of about 1% of the total addressable market, so 6,000 students. At $50 per registration, we're looking at a potential of $30 million a year for the total market. And then with our conservative estimate, $300,000 for that 6,000 student amount that we just talked about. The implications here, this is important for universities and other stakeholders involved. International students have an important economic impact, as you can see here, not just at universities, but across the nation. International students are discounted much less than their domestic counterparts, so this is much more incentive for universities to go after and to want to complete and yield international student applications, as they're going to see a higher percentage of revenue over their domestic counterparts. The model is going to be a $50 registration fee for students to access the portal and have unlimited submissions to universities. As we mentioned, this $50 can help save in the long run other costs associated with their application process. For universities, the basic service is free. We want to sign on as many institutions as we can, which makes it an incentive for students to want to sign on to the service when they see the value that's there. And in a later phase, we do have a revenue generating model for those universities. Initial analysis here shows that we will be breaking even going into the end of the second year, into the 24th month, as you see there. And again, this is based on what I do believe is a very, very conservative estimate in our model currently. Speaking to colleagues in the field, those that are making decisions in university enrollment offices, almost everyone is on board with a solution that helps them with, through an authentic and verified manner, completing international student applications. It's going to save them time and help them meet their goals. The competition, we do have a few other organizations in the field that provide some similar services, but not a comprehensive package that we're offering. So these are a few of the closest competitors, and as you can see, do miss on a couple areas that we are providing full service in for those students. In terms of the customer acquisition and our marketing plan for our target student, our non-traditional applicant, as we mentioned earlier, is not currently in high school, graduate applicants that are a little bit more independent. Social media and online marketing is going to be one of the heaviest pushes. College fairs, other events that they're attending, word of mouth, referrals. And then for universities, we do want to secure some of the top 100 institutions. That's going to be very attractive to students. We also feel those small private institutions, public institutions with limited funding are going to be more apt to sign on much quicker as they have limited resources and want to find effective ways to attract more international students. Direct sales, site visits, networking, relationship building, these are going to be important methods by which to acquire those partnerships. As you see in the initial timeline here, the pre-launch will be a 6-month period at the end of the second half of this year. Our first year is going to be a full marketing blitz, really getting out into the field, putting our name out in the market, in the hopes that we will have a much larger consumer base going into that second year. What we are asking for is a $500,000 initial fund. This would help cover the startup costs in the first 6 months, as well as most of the first year expenses. And we do feel comfortable going into launch mode with this initial funding. I definitely thank you for your time. I hope this was informative and provided some information needed, and I am open to questions at this time. Thank you very much.